Hi, good morning again. Today is Friday, May the 7th. Right, today I would like to show you the rest of what I tried to show you because the video is a little too long, so I'm going to make two series, so which is part one and part two. So part two, I will show you after I complete install the system. Okay, let's go take a look, and I was explain you very detailed about why it's so important. Okay, before I show you the complete irrigation system for guava production at the high tunnel, let's learn a little bit about water use, for guava. Okay, so guava is a tropical crop, and they will love water, but they don't like standing water. So it's very important. Okay, so water use of guava, it's not that much, compared to like peach, citrus, or nuts. Actually, the root system of guava tree is not very deep. They go at about 18 inches in the soil. That's pretty much what most of the root system of guava gonna be. But a lot of them will be on the close to the surface, probably about 8 to 10 inches, below the soil surface. That's pretty much what the root system that be able to uptake the nutrients and water to send to the above ground mass. So that in that case, then we don't need to wet a deep profile of the soil. So it's very important. So you need to know that, okay? And then also, guava tree is a tropical, right? Like I said, tropical trees, and they love humid and with water. But because in here in Fresno we have frost in the winter, and then we have high heat in the summer, and then we have winds, high winds in the fall. So those kind of problem is really cause guava an issue too. So that's why we have to grow under the high tunnel, right? So when you grow guava under high tunnel, you have to think about a couple things. You get to think about how can you do so it can the weather or inside here the high tunnel is suitable to the guava tree, so they can grow, they can produce the fruit that what you wanted. So it's very important, right? So since we know that guava tree is not a very deep roots type of plant, and they love water, but they don't like standing water. So that's why we plant these guavas on beds, right? So this high tunnel, actually we plant to 3 rows of guava, and this high tunnel, a total of 156 guava trees was planted in here with a spacing of 5 by 12. Okay, so we plant little dents, and if you watch my previous video, the part one, irrigation part one, you probably explain a little bit about that, because when you plant high density like this, it's allow the plant to compete for the space, and then by doing that, then they minimize the canopy to the point that it's not quite vigorous, and then it doesn't need a lot of pruning, especially when it comes time to prune the tree. So okay. And then, why we plant on the bed, and this bed is about 12 inch tall, or we call raised bed. And the purpose of by doing that, because guava tree is a tropical crop, right? And then they like water because a lot of rainfall in the tropical, but they don't like standing water. So in that case, then what we're gonna do, we're gonna raise the bed, and then we'll plant a tree, okay, on the bed, 12 inches bed, and what is the purpose of that? Because guava tree, they prefer good aeration soil. So by doing this, then we have a good aeration on the bed, and then will allow the root system to expand it, and they are healthy and expand it as wide as they can, and then so it doesn't cause when you have a good aeration, then it doesn't cause root disease or some other issue. So that's very important. So guava, they use, like I said, they don't use a lot of water, okay, but they love water. So how you gonna manage that? So now we're gonna go back to the irrigation system and then the management. As I showed you last week, right, at the previous video, part 1, you see the system, the irrigation system. So this one, this on my left, facing the the valve right now. So this is my left, and this is go to the left bed, which is just the left row. We had double drips, okay, so it's 2 drips. So I have the horizons come out here, so right here, the horizon here. So I have the T, and then go to the elbow right there, and then also on this side, the elbow right here, and then go to the line. So I have 2 lines, and then you can see that the emitters I put right there, this is the emitters, so 0.45 gallon per minute, and there's another one on the other side, it's right there. Okay, so it's a double line. So the lines are gonna running like that, okay, on the bed. And then next year, crop seasons, then I'm gonna move the drip tape another foot, out on each side. So that means the root system expanded as far as wide as the expanded, then the water. The lines are going to be moved, at least will be, maybe move about a foot and a half, or maybe a foot on each side. So allowing, the wet area on the beds is a little bit wider. So by doing that, they will allow the root system to expand it much better, right? I want to show you here. Okay, so the right one, this is the right, then go to the right bed, the rows right there, okay? It's the same thing, it's a double lines, okay? And then this one go right there, the metaphor, or the horizon go in there, connect to the 2 lines, and then it's go down there, okay? It's a double line with the emitters of the spacing of 24 inch spacing, all right? Okay, what is the reason that we want to keep this valve? Because we have a valve on the left and a valve on the right, and then also we look in here. I have the faucets to come out here, to connect to the faucet here, and then so I can use for many purpose also. And also at the same time, I can use this one. This piece is what we call the fertilizer injector. I can screw up the faucet here and then put this thing in, and then I can put the fertilizer pump it, and then we'll pump the fertilizer into the line. So it's much easier, it's more efficient, and then in that way. And then you see the line here. I show you already on the part 1, but I want to show you it again. Here's the another valve here. So when I irrigate the trees, then I close this valve, because our main irrigation system is just the drip line, okay? But when maybe once in a while during the summertime, when we hit 100-degree Fahrenheit in the summertime here, then what we're gonna do, we're gonna shut off the this 2 valves, okay, this and that one. So we'll open this valve, and then the water gonna go up here and to the top, okay? So we run the main line and straight down the center, and then down the middle of the high tunnel, then we tee to the sub line on the left and the right, and that was the overhead sprinkler ours. So in the summertime, when we have a temperature reach 100-degree Fahrenheit, and then we're probably going to turn the overhead sprinkler maybe for several minutes, 10, 15 minutes, or it could be longer. It depends on how we need it. And the purpose of doing that, because like I said earlier, guava is a tropical plant, and they love humid and they love wet water. So in that case, then we want to create inside this high tunnel a little environment different, or what we call it's a small climate change inside here. We want to create a little humid inside here, and then with the water, which means like a rain, so will allow the plant to be more healthy in that way. So that's what we try to do. Okay, so that's why we want to keep the option, and that's very important. So now let's come to the irrigations again. So what you do? How the question is how often I need to irrigate my guava tree? Okay, and it kind of varied from area to areas, or it could be vary from soil to soil. So in here we have sandy loam. So in that case, then what does, because like I said earlier, guava tree is not, they don't have a deep root system like almonds or peaches, plants. So the root system is tend to be much shallower. Probably the deepest they go to like 18 inches. All right. So in that case, then we turn the water on more often with the less application. And so what I mean by saying that was, what it means is that for this particular high tunnel, the 3 high tunnel that we have here, we turn the water on twice a week. Okay, twice a week. So that means every Tuesday and then every Friday. That's how we do it. So every Tuesday we're gonna turn the water for 2 hours or 3 hours the maximum. Okay, and then we shut it off, and then on Friday, then we turn it, the water back on for another 2 or 3 hours. That's based on right now. And later, when we have a lot of fruit, then we may change. We may increase the volume all the time, especially the time. You may extend the time a little bit longer, but no more than 4 hours. So most likely that the best would be 2 and 2.5 hours. This is the best. Okay, you see here is how you test your soil to see if it's enough. So we just turn off the water early this morning, about an hour ago. So you see, it's really good wet soil. So it's really a lot of moisture. Okay, so when you do this, okay, you grab the soil and you squeeze this in your hand, and you open it up. You see it's making like a cloud like that. That means it's really good moisture inside. So this is a lot of moisture, and like I said, this is the sandy loam. So it's a sandy loam. You cannot make a long ribbon, but at least you can make a little ribbon, right? So this is a sandy loam, and it's a good drainage soil. It's the best for guava. Like I said, guava they don't like standing water, because standing water you're gonna stress the trees. You can drown the root of the tree, and by doing that, then stress the roots, and then when the roots stress, so they cannot uptake the water or the nutrient and send to the tree, to the above biomass, which is a lot of flower now. So we want to make sure that the tree is healthy, so they can sit enough water and nutrient to take care of the biomass. So it's very important, because this is a lot of flower right now. So this is very important. That's what I've said. Irrigation is one of the most important component in terms of farming guava in this particular area, especially under high tunnel. Okay, under high tunnel you have an environment that is just a little bit different from the open space. If you have a soil probe, you probe it you put it in the soil. If it can go like 18 inch, that's good, perfect. You fine. That's the perfect, right? But if dry, then no, you don't want to do that, because you see like here, this is the Thai variety. Guava, and this is one of the trees that I love very much, and it's look very healthy. It's very healthy. You can look at by the thing, and the bed must be free of weed, because when you turn the water on, you want to make sure that all the water that you turn on at least go to the trees, so no other competitions. It's very important. Okay, and then you will, if you take good care of the tree, you take good care of the soil, and most likely everything will be fine. They will take care of you, right? So right here, I have some mulches, especially when I prune the tree, a heavy prune, so I put the leaves on the top, so pretty much using as a mulch, and kind of reduce the evaporations, and that's very important too. And like I said, under the high tunnel, the evaporation tend to be much less compared to the open space. So that's why it's very important that when you turn the water on, and then the irrigation method that you use is very important. So don't get me wrong. You may like a different method, like a micro sprinkler or flat, But I like drip, and I don't use the drip tape. I use the tubing. Okay, so this is what we call the tubing. Okay, so tubing is a very sturdy type of tubing. Okay, this is a half-inch tubing, and it's very sturdy. This can last. This type of tubing can last 15-20 years if you take good care. You flush. We'll plan to flush the line at least once a year, and that's very important. Right after we finish harvesting, that we flush the line to make sure that any chlorine or some other bad chemical that maybe clog inside or stuck inside the line, we want to make sure that it's clean it again. And then, if you take good care, they will last very long. All right. So irrigation is very important, and keep in mind, guava tree doesn't have deep roots, like other crop, like stone fruits, almonds. And so in that case, so when you turn the water on, you have to be very careful. You have to know your soil, the type of soil. For example, if you have a loamy sand, then in that case, you probably be in the summertime, especially when about temperatures about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, then you probably may need to turn the water on three times a week, with probably maybe 1.5 hours or 2 hours the maximum. You turn the water more often, but less application, right? Less with the less water, because it's a loamy sand is more soil sand particle, and in that case, then they tend to leach much quicker, away from the root system, because like I said, guava root system is very shallow. So in that case, then you may lose the water. So that's why you need to turn the water more often, but with less application. But like what we have here is a sandy loam. It's a little more clay and silt particle, so they hold the water a little bit better. And then also we have a lot of high organic matter inside it here, because that's what we put a lot of compost in here before we plant, and we will make sure that our organic matter here is above 1%. Right, so like here you see this tree is very healthy. Look at it's a lot of flowers going blooming right now, and this is about the time of the year we're gonna harvest in October, September, November, and it can go through December. Micro irrigation system for guava production at the hand tunnel is the best option. Okay, and you may use other methods, but this is my suggestion that would be the best option. Okay, which is a drip or micro sprinkler for guava production at the high tunnel is the best. And then also, if you have option, you can also install the overhead sprinkler. In the summertime, you don't use that as irrigation, but you use that to create a humid environment inside here, so reduce the evaporations, and then keep the moisture in the tree as much as you can, so they can help to produce the fruits, sizing the fruits better, and that's what we want. Thank you for all of you that follow me today, and I hope that you learned something. And if you have any questions, you are feel free to give us a call, comment on the video clip here. If you really like it and you think that it may benefit other growers, then please, subscribe and share. So I will see you next time.